Welcome, esteemed gentlemen. A Sigma male doesn't walk into a room trying to own it. He simply steps in, and somehow, without saying a word, everyone knows he's there. There's something magnetic and almost unnervingly calm about him, like he's cracked the code to life and isn't in any rush to share the details. Science backs it up too. Studies show that women are naturally drawn to men who exude self-assurance without needing the spotlight. Sigma males embody that rare balance of mystery and confidence, sparking curiosity and attraction in a way that's as subtle as it is powerful. This isn't your typical bad boy vibe or the usual alpha swagger. It's a level of attraction that feels more like a slow burn fascination. Women don't just want to talk to him, they want to figure him out, which of course only makes him more irresistible. It's like trying to solve a puzzle that keeps changing just as you think you've cracked it. So, why can't women resist these enigmatic, shadowy figures? Let's dive into the science behind what makes Sigma males the kind of men women just can't seem to shake. Number 1. Unwavering authenticity that triggers a dopamine response. Sigma males have an authenticity that stands out without even trying. They're not about putting on a show, chasing validation, or bending to fit anyone's expectations. Instead, they're just themselves, entirely, comfortably, and sometimes even stubbornly. This is precisely what makes them magnetic to women. Science shows that authenticity doesn't just make people seem trustworthy, it actually lights up the brain's pleasure centers. When a woman encounters someone genuinely themselves, her brain releases dopamine, the same feel-good chemical that's activated when you have chocolate or hit a perfect workout high. It's addictive in the best way possible. With Sigma males, there's no pretending, no rehearsed lines, and definitely no fake charm. They're the type who won't try to convince anyone that they're interesting because, frankly, they just don't care to. This unfiltered authenticity is a breath of fresh air, especially when so many people are busy trying to curate their lives for the approval of others. Women find themselves drawn to that rawness, like finding an unscripted scene in a movie full of special effects. It's rare, it's real, and it has a strange way of getting under the skin. While other guys might scramble to prove their worth, the Sigma male's natural confidence keeps him grounded. Women can sense there's no hidden agenda, and that straightforwardness lets them relax too. With a Sigma, there's no guessing, no games, just a man who's unashamedly himself, flaws and all. Ironically, this lack of effort becomes his charm, and it's pretty irresistible. After all, it's not every day you meet someone who can be unapologetically himself and doesn't need an audience to do it. In a world full of filters, the Sigma's authenticity is like finding the one real thing on a shelf full of knockoffs. At number 2, they are masters of body language that conveys confidence without words. Sigma males are experts in saying more with a look or a gesture than most people could with a whole speech. They don't rely on words to make an impression. They know body language speaks volumes, and they use it to their advantage without even thinking about it. Whether it's steady eye contact, a relaxed but alert stance, or that slight knowing nod, their body language projects a quiet confidence that's hard to ignore. Women find this magnetic because it signals self-assuredness in a way that feels genuine, like he's not trying to prove anything to anyone. There's a bit of science to back it up too. Studies on body language reveal that nonverbal cues can often say more about a person's confidence and intentions than any words can. In fact, body language communicates on a primal level. When a Sigma male holds his head high, stands solidly, or leans in just slightly, it sends subconscious signals that he's both grounded and aware. Women pick up on these subtle cues instinctively, often without realizing it. His movements hint that he's someone who's in control of himself, which is far more appealing than any flashy display. Unlike guys who overdo it with exaggerated swagger or forced charm, Sigma males let their body language do the work naturally. They don't rely on dramatic gestures or loud laughter to get attention. They let their calm presence speak for itself. This is intriguing because it feels authentic and a little mysterious. It keeps women curious and makes them want to know more. In a way, Sigmas are like the masters of subtlety in a world that's always shouting for attention. Their body language says, "I know who I am," and that quiet confidence speaks louder than words ever could. Number 3, perceived scarcity increases attraction. Sigma males have a rare quality that makes them feel almost like a limited edition, someone you don't come across every day, and certainly not someone you can pin down easily. This sense of rarity is incredibly powerful because, as psychology shows, people place higher value on things they can't readily have. Just like in economics where scarcity drives demand, the Sigma male's elusive nature makes him that much more appealing. He's not constantly out there mingling, swiping right, or making himself available for every social event. Instead, he operates on his own terms, and that quiet independence creates a sense of exclusivity that's hard to resist. Women naturally respond to this scarcity effect, finding themselves drawn to someone who's not just on the market for anyone who comes along. While other guys might be easily accessible or constantly vying for attention, a Sigma's life is far from an open book, and he's not waiting around for anyone's approval. His time and energy are valuable to him, and he won't spend them freely, which signals to women that he's selective, someone who doesn't need validation from the crowd. This perceived scarcity makes him feel like a mystery waiting to be solved. It's not that he's trying to play hard to get, but his genuine independence and low profile make women wonder what he's really about. He's not afraid to step back from the spotlight, and ironically, this makes him all the more fascinating. In a world where attention can be bought and sold, the Sigma's unavailability adds a magnetic allure that others can't match. When he finally does give someone his attention, it feels meaningful, like she's uncovered something rare and valuable, a prize that not everyone gets to see. At number 4, non-competitive vibe feels safe in a social world full of ego battles. Sigma males are like a breath of fresh air in a social world that's often overflowing with ego battles and loud personalities. Unlike alphas who tend to push for the top spot and constantly size up others, Sigmas operate on a different frequency altogether. They're not interested in proving anything or climbing social ladders, and this lack of competitive vibe is what makes women feel so comfortable around them. There's no pressure to play along with any power struggles or inflate egos. Being around a Sigma feels calm and grounded, and that's surprisingly rare. In a group, Sigmas don't bother with the one-upmanship games, the loudest laugh, or the need to win every interaction. This lets women relax because they're not caught in the middle of a never-ending struggle for attention or dominance. Sigmas offer an emotional safety zone where deeper, more meaningful conversations can happen without any pretense or posturing. When women sense that a man isn't trying to impress them or compete for their approval, they can connect on a much more genuine level. The appeal of this non-competitive attitude is simple yet powerful. It feels authentic. Sigmas don't rely on exaggerated bravado or a constant need to be noticed, and that creates an open space for others to just be themselves. With them, there's no hidden agenda or social maneuvering, just a vibe that feels steady and trustworthy. In a world where so many people are busy trying to prove they're better or more, the Sigma's calm presence is like discovering an oasis. It's a refreshing change, a space where real connection can actually happen. This is the charm of a Sigma male. He doesn't play the social games, and that makes him someone women instinctively feel safe with. Number 5. Natural nonconformity sparks curiosity and desire. Sigma males naturally avoid fitting into the usual molds, and this refusal to conform creates a strong sense of mystery that's hard to ignore. When a man doesn't follow the expected patterns, whether in style, interests, or attitude, it's like he's written in a language that you're curious to understand, but can't fully decode. For women, this unpredictability sparks a powerful attraction. Studies show that curiosity is a major driver in romantic interest, and Sigma males stir this instinct without even trying. They're not out to be mysterious for the sake of it, they just happen to follow their own path, which is endlessly intriguing to anyone watching. This off-the-beaten-path vibe activates the parts of the brain associated with novelty and intrigue. When women meet a Sigma, it's like finding a hidden door that hints at a whole world behind it, one that's far from ordinary. He's not following any script or leaning into social norms, and that unpredictability makes him feel a bit like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Unlike people who display themselves openly or seek validation, Sigmas are comfortable keeping parts of themselves hidden. They're not looking to be understood by everyone, which only makes people want to understand them more. The mystery of a Sigma male isn't about playing games. It's about genuine nonconformity. He's different, but in a way that feels real, not rehearsed. This stirs a desire to know more, to pull back layers, to figure out what's behind his unique mindset. In a world where most people fall into predictable categories, the Sigma's natural nonconformity is like a plot twist that keeps people on their toes. For women, it's endlessly intriguing and makes him someone they can't help but be drawn to. Number 6. Stoic calm signals stability in an unpredictable world. Sigma males have a calm, stoic presence that acts like an anchor in the chaos of everyday life. In a world that's constantly in flux and where people are often quick to react, a Sigma's steady, controlled demeanor feels almost revolutionary. Research suggests that people are drawn to those who exude stability and self-control, as these traits indicate emotional resilience and maturity. Sigmas, with their calm reactions and level-headedness, embody this stability, making them feel like a rock in any social setting. This sense of calm isn't something they put on for show. It's a natural byproduct of their independence and self-assuredness. They rarely get swept up in drama, nor do they feel the need to escalate conflicts or chase attention. If anything, they're more likely to observe quietly, respond thoughtfully, and sidestep any unnecessary drama. This approach not only keeps them composed, but also signals to others that they're not easily thrown off balance, a trait that is inherently attractive. For women, this stoic calm suggests a deeper strength, an ability to handle life's challenges without flinching. It hints that he's dependable and self-reliant, someone who doesn't need to prove his strength by being loud or domineering. In stressful situations, Sigmas are the ones who can maintain perspective, who keep their cool when things go south, and who provide a sense of assurance simply by being steady. In a world where so many people are reactive, volatile, and constantly on edge, the Sigma's calmness is like finding a safe harbor. It's a rare, deeply attractive quality that hints at a level of inner strength and resilience that women instinctively find comforting and alluring. Number 7. Calculated silence creates an aura of depth. Sigma males have mastered the art of purposeful silence, which adds a layer of depth to their character that's hard to ignore. Unlike those who feel the urge to fill every quiet moment with chatter, Sigmas are comfortable in silence. They're not rushing to prove a point, seek validation, or entertain. This calculated silence doesn't come from shyness or disinterest. Rather, it's a sign of someone who values words and only uses them when there's something worth saying. Research on communication suggests that silence, when used thoughtfully, conveys depth and intelligence. When someone pauses before they speak or simply listens without rushing to respond, it signals that they're genuinely absorbing what's being said. Women are particularly drawn to this quality because it reflects self-control and introspection. A Sigma's silence implies that he's not driven by the need to dominate the conversation or constantly assert his opinions. Instead, he's observant and contemplative. His quiet nature gives the impression that he's someone who's comfortable with himself. He doesn't feel the need to perform or prove his worth through words. This approach creates an aura of mystery and intelligence, suggesting that there's more beneath the surface than he readily reveals. It leaves people curious, wondering what he's thinking, and gives his words a sense of weight when he does choose to speak. For women, this reserved communication style can be incredibly intriguing. It signals that he's someone who listens deeply, values perspective, and operates with a thoughtful, grounded approach to life. In a world filled with noise, the Sigma's calculated silence is a refreshing contrast that suggests inner strength and a mind that doesn't need constant validation, qualities that are undeniably appealing. Number 8. Mystery activates dopamine. The Sigma male's quiet and mysterious nature has an intriguing effect that goes deeper than just curiosity. It actually triggers a biochemical response. When faced with something unpredictable or hard to read, like a person who doesn't reveal his thoughts or intentions right away, the brain releases dopamine. This feel-good neurotransmitter lights up when we encounter novelty or challenge, essentially rewarding us for seeking out things we can't quite understand. The sigma's elusive nature activates this exact response, making women feel a magnetic pull to spend more time around him in an attempt to crack the mystery. This dopamine effect makes a sigma feel like an unsolved puzzle. He doesn't overshare, doesn't boast, and doesn't let every thought be known, which leaves a lot of room for interpretation. Women are left wondering, what's his story? Or, what's going on behind those calm eyes? This guessing game isn't just entertaining. It actually creates an emotional thrill that keeps women engaged. The mind craves resolution, and when it doesn't get easy answers, it becomes fixated. Women end up seeking more encounters with the sigma, not because he's trying to keep them interested, but because their brains are naturally drawn to the unpredictability he exudes. Sigmas don't set out to be mysterious. It's just a natural result of their introspective and independent nature. But this unintentional puzzle they present makes them undeniably attractive. The more someone tries to understand a sigma, the more invested they become, as the brain continues releasing dopamine with every interaction. In a world where so many people wear their personalities on their sleeves, the sigma's mystery is like an addictive, slow-burn intrigue that makes him someone you just can't get out of your mind. Number 9. Their detached charm activates the challenge instinct. Sigma males have a certain detached charm that's impossible to ignore, and it's this very detachment that sparks an instinctual challenge in women. Unlike men who are constantly trying to please or win approval, Sigmas don't seek validation from anyone, which automatically makes them an enigma. Psychological studies show that when someone is hard to impress or isn't quick to offer approval, it triggers the challenge factor, an instinct that sparks romantic interest. It's the idea of needing to prove yourself, to break through the cool, unbothered exterior of the Sigma that ignites a drive for validation. This detachment doesn't mean Sigmas are emotionally unavailable or cold, but rather that they aren't desperate for attention. It's an underlying confidence that comes from within, making them almost indifferent to the typical social games others play, and that's what makes them stand out. For women, it's the thrill of being in a situation where they have to earn attention, not demand it. It's like they sense that the Sigma's approval isn't something that can be bought with charm or small talk. It has to be earned. This creates a layer of competition, even if it's just with themselves. Women will find themselves intrigued, constantly trying to figure out what makes a Sigma tick, hoping they can be the one to break through his seemingly impenetrable exterior. They see it as a challenge worth taking on, and with every encounter, the Sigma's detachment makes the pursuit more exciting. It's not about playing hard to get. It's simply the Sigma's natural demeanor that stirs a desire to win his attention. This challenge becomes addictive because, in a world where validation is so often handed out freely, the Sigma's indifference feels like a rare, precious prize. Number 10. Emotional independence evokes security rather than neediness. Sigma males are emotionally independent, which stands in stark contrast to the neediness that often clouds relationships. This independence doesn't just make them self-sufficient. It evokes a sense of security in others, especially women. They don't rely on others for validation or happiness, and this quality alone makes them incredibly attractive. Emotional independence is like a silent promise that a Sigma won't drain the emotional resources of those around him. He doesn't need constant reassurance or attention, which allows for a more grounded, healthy dynamic in any interaction. For women, this emotional stability is refreshing. Rather than feeling like they have to cater to his every need or manage his emotional state, they can relax knowing that the Sigma is in control of his own emotions. In fact, it can actually be a relief. There's no pressure to keep up with someone who constantly needs affirmation or attention. Instead, he offers space for a more balanced, genuine connection. It's not about being distant. It's about having the freedom to be yourself without the weight of emotional drama. This emotional independence also signals to women that a Sigma isn't looking for someone to complete him or fill some emotional void. He's already whole, and he can offer the same in return. It creates a sense of safety and trust, because it's clear that he won't become emotionally dependent or possessive. Instead of making women feel like they have to fix him, The Sigma's self-reliance encourages a partnership based on mutual respect and understanding. Emotional independence isn't about being cold or aloof, it's about being strong enough to stand alone, and that strength is magnetic. In the end, the allure of the Sigma male isn't a fluke, it's a combination of psychological dynamics, deep-rooted instincts, and natural charisma that makes him impossible to resist. His quiet confidence, detached charm, and emotional independence aren't acts, they are simply the essence of who he is. And in a world where so many are desperate to be seen, heard, and validated, the Sigma's effortless mystery and grounded self-sufficiency are like a breath of fresh air. He doesn't chase attention because he doesn't need it. He doesn't play games because he's already mastered the art of living authentically. And that, more than anything, is what makes him so irresistibly magnetic. Women aren't just drawn to Sigma males because they're enigmatic. They're drawn to them because being around a Sigma feels like an invitation to a deeper, more genuine connection. It's not about trying to decode him or win him over. It's about encountering someone who doesn't need anyone else to complete him and, in turn, offers the space to form a connection that's real, untainted by ego or games. So while Sigma males may remain a mystery to many, the truth is that their power lies in their ability to remain true to themselves. And that's a trait that's not just admired, but deeply, irresistibly attractive. The Sigma's appeal isn't a trick. It's the quiet, undeniable truth of who he is. And when someone can be so effortlessly authentic, the rest of the world can't help but take notice. If you've made it this far, then you know there's a reason the Sigma male continues to fascinate, and we're just getting started. So if you want to dive deeper into topics that challenge the norm, unravel psychological mysteries, and explore the dynamics that make the world of Sigma males and females so uniquely captivating, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. You won't just be joining a channel, you'll be stepping into a space where curiosity meets insight, where the ordinary is left behind, and where the exceptional is just beginning to unfold. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Go ahead. Subscribe now and let's continue this journey of discovery together.